Top five. Who's your top five?
Top five, ladies and gentlemen, where I come up with a list, and I usually give it to Vincent to add his scintillating commentary on it. But tonight, Vincent has a partner.
I do.
We have Adell with him, and the two of them.
It'll be a scintillating duo.
Ooh. And tonight, in honor of DREAMGIRLS, which we are reviewing, a film that stars Beyonce,
yes,
arguably one of the most famous women and celebrated women in the world.
I don't even think that's arguable.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Right,
What is also not arguable is that the name that came out of DREAMGIRLS was the Academy Award winning performance of Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
In a supporting role as Effie. So, in honor of that, this is our top 5 supports over leads. Top 5 times when a Black supporting actor outshined the lead actor in a film.
Oh, interesting.
See if you agree. Now, and this has happened more often than I thought. There are some that I didn't go to, one in particular, because it's like almost on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And that would be Denzel Washington in Glory.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Okay, yes, we know that's there.
Right.
All right? So this is the top 5 besides Denzel.
Besides Denzel.
Besides the tier.
Yeah.
Okay? The one tier.
One tier.
These are the other tiers.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. And we're going to start with number 5.
All right.
And number 5 is another Academy Award winning performance.
Okay.
From 1990, Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Whoopi Goldberg was the producer's last choice to
Interesting.
play Oda Mae Brown in Ghost. But the decision to cast the comedian resulted in one of the smartest verdicts in the production. In this romantic fantasy picture, Goldberg's unforgettable performance cloaks her castmates' work. And just to make sure, yes, she won the Oscar. We know Whoopi Goldberg is great. But just to be certain, I actually rewatched Ghost this weekend.
Okay.
For the first time in I don't know how long.
Holds up.
I have to be honest, the film in general holds up. I was surprised by how much it did hold up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some synth music that's 80, kind of puts in late 80s, early 90s. But it actually does hold up as a romantic film. But the film, they're right. It does lose a little bit of its drive when Whoopi is not on screen.
Yeah.
But she's amazing in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you with Whoopi Goldberg, Adele?
I 110% agree with this because, I saw this movie quite a few times, and you're right. The scenes she's not in, they don't do well. I had to remind myself for a second, who was the love interest? I had to remember it was
Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Demi, yeah. I was I had to remember it was her because it's for a second you're who else was in this movie?
That's true.
Patrick Swayze and Whoopi's energy together just played off each other so freaking well. Yeah, I was surprised you said it held up well. I felt the little ending when all the little black creatures came out the ground and grabbed old boy at the end.
Oh yeah,
probably looked really corny.
Well, yeah, some of the effects. I mean,
Right.
you can't help the effects.
Yeah.
But story wise, you're right. Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore are both very young in their careers here.
Sure.
But Patrick Swayze more than holds his own alongside Whoopi, and even in the scenes where he has to, because he is the star of the film.
Right.
But Demi, I think a little bit of her naivete it shows through.
Sure. And it's a role that she doesn't have much to do.
Right.
But like you, Adele, I think his just that camaraderie, just that sort of the relationship between he and Whoopi Goldberg is the center of the film.
Yeah. Great one. Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. This one did not win an Academy Award.
Okay.
And I think this may be one of the bigger slights in Academy history.
Okay.
This is Samuel L. Jackson, in Pulp Fiction.
Right. Well, that's kind of a controversial one, though.
That's right, because although both John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson received Academy attention for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, Samuel L. Jackson as Jules Winfield definitely outshines Travolta as the star of stars. But you're saying what's the...
Well, infamously, Miramax decided to push for Jackson in the supporting role because there was some conversation about whether or not they should push for him to be nominated for lead. Yeah. Because when you look at Pulp Fiction, I know John Travolta's the lead and Samuel Jackson is supporting, but there's an argument to be made that Jules is as much of a lead.
Well, certainly. And he is the character that has probably, stood the test of time from that movie.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many people are quoting Vinny Vega anymore, but they're quoting Julius Whittenfield.
Right. So, yeah, that's I think everyone agrees with that, including John Travolta.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Are you a Pulp Fiction fan, Adell?
I've seen it a few times. Not super, but I do think
about a Pulp Fiction.
It's cool, But I was gonna say I agree. I thought for a long time that Samuel was like, the main actor. Like I didn't think that John Travolta. I thought John Travolta was supporting. I could see that easily.
I think the reason why John Travolta gets, some might give the argument to Travolta because he is in 3 segments of the movie.
So Samuel Jackson's
in 2. He's in the opening, and then he's really in the close.
He's in the opening. He's in, of course, the great scene in the apartment where he actually does.
Well, that's the opening.
Right. He's
and that continues on until and then he doesn't return to the end. When they return back to that apartment.
Right, but that's his scene. No, like John Travolta is literally in the bathroom. That scene.
No, I understand that. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But he's got that.
He's also in the scene with Harvey Keitel. But you're saying that's still all part of the same.
All part of the same scene. Whereas John Travolta has a separate scene with Uma Thurman. He's got like his own little arc there, or at least part of that arc.
Right, and I would argue the scene in the diner is Jules' separate scene.
Okay, fair enough.
Because Vinny's in the bathroom.
To a lot of that.
Right.
That's true.
We're all going to be little cool little Fonzies.
Yeah.
I like Pulp Fiction.
I love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so
I watch Pulp Fiction. I find myself watching Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs at least once a year.
Yeah. I think it's amazingly overrated, but it is a good film.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3. This is a film, an animated movie.
Okay.
From 1994.
Okay.
And this might be the stick with me here. Jason Weaver in The Lion King. Now, some people might be asking yourself, well, Jason Weaver. Go back to 1994. Go back to The Lion King. Think of the voice of young Simba. Young Simba was played by one Jonathan Taylor Thomas of Home Improvement fame. Right? That's who gave Simba his young voice when he was speaking. But when you think of The Lion King,
exactly,
do you really think of Simba speaking? Or do you think of how he just can't wait to be king? That is not Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That is, in fact, Jason Weaver, who sings all of Simba's lyrics, and in doing so, totally outshines Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Adell, agree with me or not?
110% agree. Like, I was asking someone, I watched this movie like literally last week with my children. It was like, I was asking my husband, I don't know why they didn't just give Jason Weaver the whole role at this point. Like seriously, why do we need two voices? Like, why do we need the speaking voice and the singing voice when Jason Weaver's already an actor? Like, he could have definitely owned it because he owned all the songs. Like, Lion King it's not a movie without his music. It's not. Like, the music makes the film. I 110% agree with that.
I actually forgot until this exact second that wasn't Jason Weaver the whole time.
See?
Like, you said it, and I said, oh, right. I had completely forgotten.
Exactly.
Because even when they do retrospectives, when they talk about it, they just talk to Jason Weaver.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
So,
So, yes.
That was a great one.
3.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Number 2. This is a controversial film.
Okay.
However, another Academy Award winning performance.
Okay.
From 2011, Octavia Spencer in The Help, which starred Emma Stone and Viola Davis in a film that chronicled Skeeter Phelan as she attempts to write a book about African-American maids in the 60s. Octavia Spencer, who played Minnie Jackson, steals the show, launching her career, in fact, as an A-list actress. In fact, Reuters said that Spencer seemingly came out of nowhere to steal this summer's sleeper hit all on her own. And yeah, there's some people who have trouble going back to The Help. But see, Adele raising her hand. But you can't knock Octavia Spencer's performance.
I'm going to do you one better. I can't go back to it because in the least surprising thing that I'm going to say tonight, I've never actually seen The Help.
Really?
Why would I have watched that? Not for 1 month. Like, yeah, as soon as yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take.
I
your
never
word
went back
for it.
to it.
Go ahead, Adele.
No, I said I never went back to it. I was like, okay, I got you. I'm good. I'm good on this. But no, I agree. When you were talking about it, I'm like, who else was in that film? Like, I couldn't even remember.
Is it Viola Davis and Emma Stone?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I saw a clip and Viola Davis said, "You is good and you is kind." I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this. My president is black. I don't have to deal with this."
Were you along those same lines? Is the reason why you couldn't return to it, Adele?
Yeah, I just got tired. It was like that. Then it was like 12 Years a Slave. It was just like, I was like, all right, like, what do I benefit from this at this point? Like, I just leave the movie theater angry and then with all this pent up energy. And
Well,
no.
I did see it. I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it like probably a year or two after it came out.
Yeah, see, I saw it in the theaters. And then you start looking around at other people in the theater that don't look like you, and you're like, what are you getting out of this? Like, what is this?
Where am I? The good old days.
I'm like, why am I here?
Okay, all right. Well,
But yay for Octavia Spencer.
yeah, I mean, I just celebrated, like, hey, this, because to me, this was a movie that put, like they said, Octavia Spencer on the map. And honestly, to me, it was the first movie that I really remembered Viola Davis popping as well. So, see where they came from. Now, it's interesting, in like going back over old TV, you see Octavia Spencer and Viola Davis pop up in old TV shows. Like, look at her, but this is where they got to. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, man, look.
And I like Emma Stone.
Look.
Anyway,
I'm never watching it until we have to watch it for this.
I'm going to have to make that sooner. All right. There may be a month where I just make you watch.
Just hate watch some movies. Just hate watch some movies.
Your birthday's in November.
Yeah, so
maybe that'll be our theme for November.
So we can do that.
The Help.
We do the hell.
Amistad.
We do
Oh,
Amistad.
please.
Get you ready to give us free. Do Amistad. We do like Ghosts of Mississippi. We do Ghosts of Mississippi. What's a good fourth one? It's too bad that we've done Driving Miss Daisy because that would fit so neatly.
But we haven't done Green Book.
And then we do Green Book. It's just like a month of hate. Just a month of seething anger.
Dylan, are you writing these movies down? There's your birthday
Title,
gift.
Seething anger theme.
Month of seething anger. We can call it Burn Hollywood Burn.
And I'll start every show with Happy Birthday, Vince.
Right.
Tonight, we're...
Right. Jeez.
Okay, number one. We're going to 1996.
Mm-hmm.
And yet again, another Academy Award-winning performance.
Okay.
And that would be perhaps this actor's best performance.
Okay.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Okay.
in Jerry Maguire.
Absolutely.
From 1996.
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire was released and became a cultural juggernaut and, to some, a classic film. It follows Tom Cruise's titular character as he breaks from his sports agency in an attempt to sign an athlete, Rod Tidwell, played by one Cuba Gooding Jr. Gooding brings the jock character to life with the quippy, memorable line, "Show me the money."
Show me the money.
And I would argue that this is indeed Cuba Gooding Jr.'s best performance. I think he is actually, it's interesting that he in Boys in the Hood, he plays the best friend of a guy, Morris Chestnut, who's about to become a football star.
Right, right.
And then Cuba Gooding channels Morris Chestnut to play a football star.
Yeah.
Who in this film, and then wins an Academy Award for his efforts. And shame to say, it's been downhill ever since for the gentleman.
It's a great performance, and I think part of what makes it so great is that it didn't have to be that good. Like there was nothing about that you could, you don't have to stretch like you did. So the fact that he turned that into that performance is admirable in and of itself.
Have you seen Jerry Maguire, Adele?
Yeah, I was sitting here because when you were saying it was his best, I'm like, let me think. Because people will argue that Boys in the Hood may have been one of his best, I feel like. But, like, right. I was like,
Got to punch the air like Trey.
But no, I think it's 100% correct in that, like, I feel like overall the movie was like meh to me, but I felt like everyone didn't really have to do too much, but I feel like Cuba did kind of go a bit above and beyond, like with that role. Like I believed him as a football player. Like I believed him, like very much so. Yeah.
I think he's also buoyed in that film by Regina King.
Of course.
Playing his wife.
Yeah.
Like, and, you're acting off of Regina. You better bring it.
Right.
Yeah. You had no choice.
So there you go. Well, that's my top 5, Vincent.
That was a top level 5.